welcome to another daily vlog. This is, let's see, day 4 of my winter vlog as I head into 2024 and share with you all the things I do to prepare for a new year. So I'm out and about early again this morning, and wasn't that sunrise amazing? There is nothing like a sunrise and a sunset. And I'm all snug. Finally, the heat has kicked in this car. And I am wearing my Saturday shrug, which is a pattern by Jackie Rose. She is one half of the Katie Jack's Knits podcast. And it's a perfect day to wear it. So right now I am on my way to a doctor's appointment. Once a month, I go into my rheumatology office and I get an infusion for rheumatoid arthritis. It usually takes about an hour, sometimes about an hour and a half for the medication to get it into my system, and that's kind of like what I was talking about earlier this week about how medications can only do but so much, and I do think it's helping. It's not completely alleviating all of my symptoms, but it's making me somewhat functional, so I'm very, very grateful for that. So I kind of look at it as like my self-care treatment. It's a really comfortable office, reclining chairs. The chairs recline, they heat, and they massage. So it's like a little self-care moment. When I first started getting them done, I really hated it. Just the thought of having to do this once a month was a bit unsettling, but I have definitely learned to just lean into it and view it as like a little self-care day. They're super, super nice in there. They treat you so well. They give you, make sure you stay hydrated during the treatment, give you treats or snacks if you're hungry, and I might take them up on that today because I have not had breakfast. So that's where I'm headed to, and I do have coffee as always. So I'm going to head in and do that, and then I'm going to come back home and work and see what else I can get into for the day. I'll catch up with you later. It feels so good that the work week has ended and I'm heading into a long weekend. So we're quickly losing daylight hours, so I better get going on the thing I wanted to share with you today. So before January the 1st, I really want to get a hold on where I am with the works in progress, the things I have on the needles and hooks. Although I think everything I have in this basket here are all knitted items. So these are things that have not been worked on in quite some time, and I need to decide, am I going to frog them or am I going to commit to finishing them? So I've already picked out one thing, and that is my Cozy Memories blanket, and I need to look at these other whips. I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm tired. That infusion really, really wore me out today. Not so much the infusion, but the Benadryl. They give me an infusion of Benadryl before the infusion to ward off any allergic reactions to the infusion. And I would probably be okay without it, but I've always done it, and now I'm afraid not to have it. So today, for some reason, that I'm really feeling the effects of the Benadryl, so I still feel quite foggy, but we're going to work our way through this. So this is my whip pile. This is my whip basket. But before I show you the whips, let me show you the progress I've made on my On the Road Again hat. So here it is. So as you can see, I've got quite a bit done. Can you see the sparkle? Is it showing up good enough? Yeah, I think that looks really, really good. I'm also working with a microphone today, so hopefully that will help with any of the outside noises from neighbors. But yeah, look at that. That is so beautiful. I am enjoying every single stitch of this hat. And I don't know, I might be able to finish this before the new year. So let's see. I have to go to the grocery store after um, I prepare some dinner, and so I will maybe take this with me, or maybe I'll get to work on it just a little bit before I go to bed tonight. I just love those sparkles, and I have already set out yarn for at least two more of these hats, or hats that are similar to this. So we'll talk about that another time. So, whips. The first whip I will share with you that I need to make a decision on is in this Fat Squirrel Fibers project bag. And that's the beauty of deciding what you're going to do with whips, because you're going to be freeing up needles and project bags depending on what you decide to do with them. Okay, so this is my DRK Everyday Cowl, I believe. If that's not what it is, I'll just put it down here. This, I don't consider this to be a languishing whip. This is pretty much finished, and I just need to get my act together, block it and seam it, and send it off to the yarn shop for which it will be a sample for. So I'm a huge proponent in not being ashamed of your knits and your whips, but I'm really ashamed that it's taking me so long to finish this. So maybe I need to focus on this, finishing this before the year ends, and not so much the hat. So yes, I've already decided I'm going to commit to finishing this, and so that I can take this to the shop next week. Okay, so let's set this one aside. We're going to move right along. So I'll just throw that one over there in the keep pile. Next up is in another adorable project bag. I think this is by Mabel Designs. Let's see. Yep. Adorable quilted project bag. Sip of coffee. And a sip of water. That's definitely what I need. Lots and lots and lots of water. Okay. In this bag is the Killer Queen Cowl. This is a pattern by Mary Annarella. So this is the progress I had made on this beautiful design. And I have already definitely decided that this is going to get frogged. I thoroughly enjoyed working on this, but there is a section on here that I did not do correctly. This section here, and while it is very pretty, it is not the way it's supposed to look. And I thought I could live with it, but I can't. So this is going to be frogged. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take it off of the needles right now. And I can unwind this and frog it, and then I can definitely repurpose this beautiful yarn for something else. This is Malabrigo Rios, and this can be used for hats or another project. I definitely want to make this again, but this particular one will be frogged. So let's throw this one over, no, this one stays in the bag, the frog bag. Next up, this project bag. I think I showed this on the podcast once before. This is actually a cosmetic bag I picked up from Marshall's, I believe. Let's see what is in here. Huh. This is actually a pair of socks, a pair of worsted weight socks. And let me see. It's been so long, I cannot even tell you the name of the pattern. So these are called the Strands of Joy and Comfort socks. This, oh, I remember, it's all coming back to me. This was actually a test knit that I was doing for Tiff Neelan. And the requirements of the test knit was to complete at least one sock. So I completed this sock here. And you can see there's a design in there, but it's really, really low contrast. But the designs are hearts. Can you see that? And I think I made a mistake here. This is definitely not correct, but not a deal breaker for me because they're not going to be seen. And they're so super thick and warm and cozy. My goal was to make these like a pair of house slippers, house socks. But I think I could actually fit them in my Crocs too. So I don't know. I really think I should finish these. This sock maybe took 3 days to make because, like I said, it is worsted weight. And the yarn that I'm using is, I think it's Blue Sky Fibers wool stock, if I'm not mistaken. So my gut tells me I need to finish these, even if it's to give them to someone. So yes, I'm going to finish these. Going to finish these, and so that's 2 that go in the finished pile. Next up, another cute project bag, Sandy by the Lakeside bag. This bag should not be languishing. Not too much done on this. This pattern, if I'm not mistaken, was it Fireside Chat socks? You can see they've got this cute little slip stitch motif. And I did really, I'm not sure. Oh, I know what happened with this. I think what happened with these is that I did the color choices incorrectly. So the slip stitch should actually be the darker color. So because of that, I think I was supposed to cast on with the lighter color, and the slip stitch was supposed to be the darker color. I'm going to frog these. I'm going to frog these because I'm going to frog them because a couple of reasons. These are really good needles, Knitter's Pride Zing, and these could be used for another pair of socks. But I have so little time invested in these that I don't feel too bad about frogging them. So these will go in the frog pile, and I will definitely be knitting these at some point, but oh, Fireside Friends, that's the name of the pattern. Or maybe that's the color. And it doesn't matter, right? Because they will be frogged. So into the frog basket it goes. And I just have one more. So that's not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 5 whips I need to decide on. The final whip is a cowl. It's in this adorable project bag that was, I think, did Rochelle, yeah, Rochelle of Queen's Yarn Boutique sold this bag. How adorable is that? So cute. I was looking for this fabric for the longest after I got this bag without success. But anywho, This cowl is called the Hillview Road Cowl, and if you've been with me for a while, you definitely have seen this before. So this is an interesting, really interesting pattern on here. If you look closely, especially in this area right here, you can see how the stitches are kind of on a diagonal. And then right up here, somehow I got off track. And I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm not sure how to get back on track. So this will be frogged. This will be frogged, and this yarn is just so beautiful. It's too beautiful to just sit here in a languishing whip. I can totally see frogging this and turning this yarn into a hat sooner than later, especially if I combined it with, oh, what if I found like some rose gold sequin thread to hold with this? This would be a gorgeous hat. So let's get this off of the needle. And this is a US 10 needle, I believe. Can't say, I mean, this is a beautiful pattern. I believe it's a free pattern, but I wasn't getting a whole lot of satisfaction out of knitting it. I think I would have really enjoyed wearing it, but it just didn't wow me. So, yep, it is off the needles. And throw this in this basket here. And so that's 3 project bags and 3 needles that I freed up. A US 1, a US 10, and the ever popular US 6 needle. So that's good, and that feels really, really good to get that off of my plate, and that frees up a little corner in my craft room. Well, it really doesn't free up the corner. It frees up the basket of whips that I had in the craft room. There are still some other things in that basket. In particular, I think it's just 2 blankets. Because as I was looking through my works in progress, I realized I think I have 4 blankets in progress. We'll talk about that on a future special episode. But for now, I'm going to frog these whips, free up these needles, and hopefully I'll have a little bit of energy to whip up some dinner real quick, head out to the grocery store to prep for our big family dinner on Monday, and come back in and rest. That's the plan. So I realized I don't have to cook this evening because I ordered carry-out for lunch and there are plenty of leftovers. So I am not cooking today. But what I am going to do, I'm going to tidy up this desk here. That's another thing that's been on my to-do list before the new year, because this is the space where I do a lot of reading and studying and sometimes journaling. And I picked up these really cute bookends from Amazon. I will link to it in the show notes, but I'm going to set up a couple of journals and a couple of things I frequently use on this table and just tidy up a little bit.